Have you ever wondered why a radio is on every emergency preparedness list you've ever seen? What's it supposed to do? How's it supposed to work? And which features are really important to have in that radio? These are things that I've been wondering about, and that's what I want to discuss today. Stay tuned. Hello friends and family, thanks for checking in. For anyone new, my name is Russell Liston, and I'm here to help you as you prepare every needful thing. I hope that you've had a chance to check out my video on the portable power charging station. If not, I'll leave a link below for you to check that out. Radios are part of this system because we want to be able to keep them charged and ready to go, whether we're at home, on the road, or off the grid, or wherever life takes us. So why is a radio on every emergency preparedness list you've ever seen? What's it supposed to do? How's it supposed to help? The answer is information. Information is critical. We love information. We live in a world of information. We can know things that are happening all around the world at any moment and at any time. In an emergency or disaster situation, our information may be limited. But that doesn't stop us from wanting to know what is going on. We want to be informed. And with that information, we can process how that affects us, our family, friends, our community, and our nation, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Now, I don't want to paint too unpleasant of a picture, but imagine your cell phone with no bars, no Wi-Fi, no signal. Your television, nothing. Your internet, gone. No information coming to you. This is a pretty dark place. All of the information that we're used to receiving at the click of a button, gone. So how are you going to get the information that you need to help answer your questions? Because in an emergency or a disaster situation, there's going to be a lot of unknowns and a lot of questions. It's interesting that with all of the advancements in technology, we are putting our hope in a radio to help keep us informed. But that's what we've been given to work with, and if it comes down to it, I think we're going to be glad to have it. And so, because of that hope, I keep a radio in my kit. So if I need a radio, what do I want that radio to do? There are so many emergency radios out there with so many bells and whistles, it's hard to know what's actually important. It's important to remember that the main purpose of a radio is to be a radio. A radio is a receiver, and I want it to be able to receive AM, FM, and WB, which is short for weather band. And weather band is the NOAA weather radio, which is also known as the NWR station. Besides weather, they also broadcast warnings and information concerning all types of hazards or emergency situations. Because of this, I want my radio to have the weather band as part of its features. Let's talk a little bit more about this weather band radio. There are three kind of main options when it comes to looking at weather band radios. The first one that I like to go over is just the basic emergency radio. It has a simple little switch here to turn from AM to FM to weather band, and then it has a tuning dial to be able to tune into the different stations. The weather band works just like an FM station where you have to tune into it. The weather band has 7 different stations, and you can tune into those by adjusting that tuning dial. The next option is called the weather band alert. Now this is a pretty neat feature. The way that it works is you turn the radio on, you tune in to the weather band station, and then, so you hear that playing, and then you push this button and it actually quiets the radio and sets an alarm. Now this alarm is used so that anytime there is an update of information, the weather station actually sends out some special signal that trips this alarm and then allows the latest information to start playing for you. Now this is a pretty neat idea because you can take a nap, you can just have it be quiet, you can conserve battery, and you don't have to be listening to the radio constantly in order to hear the latest information. This alarm will alert you when there is something new to hear. There is a downside of this. The area where this signal is sent out to is a pretty large area. They say it's 40 miles from wherever the transmitting station is. So that could be 80 miles across from side to side, and that might not actually be close to where you are, and might not affect the conditions that you're in or even give you the information that you want. So that is a bit of a downfall, but still an awesome feature for an emergency situation. This brings us to our third option. They refer to it as Specific Area Messaging Encoding, or S.A.M.E. This system allows you to set an alarm for the specific state and county or counties that you want to be notified about and receive information or updates for. This type of information could be very helpful depending upon where you live and if you keep your radio on all the time. So just to be clear, all of these options are giving us the exact same information, the weather channel, but it's how we want to be notified or how we want to be alerted to that information. If your radio is going to be in your bug-out bag, then any pre-notification systems like option 3 probably isn't going to be a huge deal to you. But the weather alert in option 2 could be very useful. You could set the alarm, go to sleep, and still be notified of any alerts that might come through. I hope that helps to clarify how these weather band systems work. Remember, it's just the same weather band, but different ways to be notified about receiving the information. I know I kind of painted a dark picture earlier when I said there probably won't be any phones or television or any way to receive information, but most likely that's probably how we will receive our first bit of information about a hazard or conditions that are coming. It'll probably end up being a text or some sort of information over the television that helps warn us of some situation that is happening around us. Once we've chosen what kind of weather band system we want on our radio, the next thing to look at is the battery. Most of the radios that I see on the market these days have a built-in lithium-ion battery, although some of them I see also have an additional space to put AAA or AA batteries that can be used as well. My suggestion, don't leave the batteries in the device. They will probably go bad and then you will be sad. So take them out, keep them close by, but don't leave them in it. With my charging station, I like the type that are USB rechargeable. That way I can keep them charged from the system, but I also like them to be able to be useful if they're taken away from the system. I found that most of the emergency radios on the market these days have a built-in solar panel along with a crank handle to keep the battery charged. The dynamo hand crank is a great idea. Make sure that you have one in your system. It's a great way to keep the radio charged, keep the battery going, and also to be able to be used to charge other devices like your cell phone. The flashlight option is more of a bonus feature, and I would think of it more as a backup option. Remember that the main purpose is the radio, so if you can, save the battery for that purpose. There are a few other things that I like to keep with my radio or in the kit. The first is the instructions. Sometimes I forget how things work. The next thing would be a charging cable to keep the device charged. Also, charging cables for phones or other devices that I might want to charge from the radio. And finally, headphones. If your radio allows, you can use these to keep things quiet and still be able to listen in. It will also save some battery life. I hope that this has helped you to understand why you have a radio in your kit, and also what sort of features you might want to have on your emergency radio. Today's assignment is to evaluate your emergency radio situation. Do you have one? Does it work? Do you know how it works? Check the batteries, make sure they work. If you're in the market for a new one, I'll leave some links to some below for you to check out. Today's thought is from the director of the National Weather Service. They said, "Our goal is to someday have a NOAA weather radio in every home, just like a smoke detector, and in all schools, hospitals, and other public gathering places. NOAA weather radio gives people the kind of information they need to safeguard themselves and their home before, during, and after a disaster. Thank you, Director from the National Weather Service." If you like this video, please let me know by clicking that thumbs up button. And if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Once again, I would like to thank you for your time, and may God bless you as you prepare every needful thing. Thank you.